What is good, Storm fans? I am Bryant Cook, and today we're playing AspiringSpike's Mono Green Devotion Storm combo. It is not the Pioneer deck. This is a modern deck, even though it looks a lot like the Pioneer archetype. So the idea here is that we're really looking to abuse the land Nykthos from Theros. So it's 2 mana, and then to activate it, you pick a color, and then you add mana equal to your devotion. So we're using things like Garruk Wildspeaker, Eternal Witness, Burning Tree Emissary, even Aeve Progenitor Ooze to make more mana with our Nykthos. That's really the idea here. And we're accelerating into more mana with Arbor Elf, with Utopia Sprawl, and even Overgrowth on that land to make a bunch of mana. Basically, you just want to cast a bunch of green spells into Aeve Progenitor Ooze. There's also Cavalier of Thorns for additional devotion, but there's actually an infinite win with this deck as well. It's pretty convoluted, but you need a Karn in play, a Kiora in play, and then you need a Kiora in graveyard and Karn in graveyard. You get Pestilence Cauldron and use the back half of it, and you then return the other 2 planeswalkers with the Nykthos, and you essentially just loop mana over and over, because the back half of this card is a sorcery, but the front half is an artifact and it exiles itself. So Karn just routinely gets the Cauldron over and over and over again, essentially creating infinite mana and infinite storm. So from there, you can cast an Aeve Progenitor Ooze if you want, or you could just go get Walking Ballista. There's a bunch of different ways you can win, but that's really how the loop works. I'd like to take a moment and thank Delante for the donation deck. I really do appreciate your support. I've never played anything like this before in my life. I can't promise you that this is going to be a pretty video. There's probably going to be a lot of play mistakes, but we're going to see how we do and just take it one step at a time. I mean, I've played Magic before, but I've never played Mono Green Devotion or anything like it in my life, so it'll be interesting to see. If you have any thoughts, comments, questions, suggestions, whatever, place those down below in the comment section. I would greatly appreciate that. And I hope you enjoyed the video today. It is a little bit out of my wheelhouse. We traditionally don't play. This is more of a fair combo deck, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how the analytics like it, all that good stuff. I really do appreciate everyone that watches this video, truthfully. Happy holidays, and I'll see you in the first round. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, early access to videos, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, such as theepicstorm.com/shop, or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to the first round. We are on the draw against NuclearAdam. Nuclear if you're George W. Bush. And I don't know if you're supposed to keep this. We do have Utopia Sprawl and Oath of Nissa into Aeve. I honestly have zero idea if this is a keep or not. I guess we'll keep it and see how it goes. It is a little bit awkward. We don't have Nykthos itself, but we have cards. We have spells and mana, like spells and lands. I think that's pretty much what you want in this deck, but once again, zero experience playing this deck before. We'll take a draw. Perfect. Land number 5 is exactly what I needed. Let's search out a basic, and we will play the Utopia Sprawl. Only green, I guess. I don't know. Pass the turn. Okay, the opponent plays Triumph into Wooded Foothill and just passes the turn. They're going to fetch in our upkeep. I imagine that we're getting our land iced here. Okay. Surprise, surprise. Take a draw. Ooh, that would have been a good one to slam there. Oath of Nissa. Enters the battlefield, it triggers. We'll take a Garruk Wildspeaker. Pass the turn. They play a Flooded Strand, and they're passing. Karn, the great piece of trash. I didn't even mention about how Delante submitted my most hated Magic card in this deck as a 4 of and acted like I'm supposed to be okay with it. Just very, very rude. I hate Karn so much. The opponent uses Flooded Strand on the end step. In the sideboard, this deck recently gained Haywire Might is a pretty sweet wish target for Karn the Great Creator. But other than that, I feel like there's actually some sort of cute cards in this sideboard, like Cityscape Reveler, for example. It just seems like there's a lot of like, do you really need a 14 card wish board, I guess, plus endurance? Here we see Crashing Footfalls. And they're getting in. We're going to take 8 down to 11. 6 cards in hand. They play to Fairy. They bounce my Overgrowth like a jerk. Stomping Ground down to 14. And they suspend another Crashing Footfalls. Eternal Witness. We'll play the land. Play the Overgrowth. This has for 3, 4. Garruk Wildspeaker. And now we'll untap these 2 lands. This gives us 5 mana. And with 5 mana, we can play Aeve. So we have made some blockers. Crashing Footfalls. The opponent pluses to Fairy. They play Fury, pitching Dead Gone. My 4/4 has been removed. They're swinging both at me. Well, we'll double block. Attempt to get rid of 1. So this will put me to 7. 3 cards remain in the opponent's hand. Shardless Agent. Sure thing. Well, we have Eternal Witness for Aeve. I just don't know if that's good enough. Kiora is a start. Hold on. So I think we can do some cool stuff here. We can do Karn the Great Creator for Expedition Map, which is a 7 mana line. So currently we have 2, 5, 7. I can untap Nykthos, or I can untap with Garruk, Nykthos, Kiora, Eternal Witness into Aeve. Yeah, I think that's the line. So we'll play Karn the Great Piece of Trash. We will minus Karn. Yes, I would like to use Karn's ability. And we will go grab the Expedition Map. Now with Garruk, we will untap 2 lands. Play the map. Use the Utopia Sprawl land to activate the map, and we'll go grab a Nykthos, play Nykthos. We will play Kiora. Kiora's on the stack. Alright, so now we can activate this Nykthos. We'll make green mana, so we have 9 green. And now we'll untap the Nykthos. Play Eternal Witness. This is Storm 4. And with Witness, we're going to return Aeve Progenitor Ooze. Yes, I'd like to use the ability. Activate the Nykthos. And I believe we'll draw cards off the Kiora with Aeve. Alright, so here it goes. Lovely. Yeah, and we are drawing cards. This is sweet. Okay. Another Aeve. Another Karn. Let's cast another Aeve. This is beautiful. You'll love to see it. And they concede! We did it! Yes, that was pretty sweet. We got to do the thing in match 1, game 1. Alright, so that was awesome. I'm glad we got to do that. What are we supposed to do sideboard-wise? They're the Rhinos deck. I don't even know if we're supposed to board. Like, we have, really, our entire sideboard is 1 card. It's Endurance. Like, do you want to bring in Endurance? Because it's mostly a Summoner's Pact target. And I'm not sure if we need it in the Rhinos matchup, so I think I'm just going to resubmit. Oath of Nissa, Utopia Sprawl. I think we keep this. Also, for those of you wondering, this is my favorite basic forest. I use Invasion basics for all my stuff, and the John Avon art from Invasion is just beautiful. So I have like 30 of each Japanese foil basic that I use from Invasion, and this is one of them. I just love it. I think it's by far the best forest in Magic. Flooded Strand, and they pass the turn. Karn. Let's try our luck at another Utopia Sprawl. We'll say green. Pass the turn. They grab another Triome. Wooded Foothills. It looks like I might be the target of Fire Ice once again. Unfortunately, this time I don't have a land to play the Oath of Nissa. Nope, didn't happen. Oath. We are looking for lands. We will take the Avamaya. And let's play the other Oath of Nissa as well, looking for Nykthos. Keep Oath. There it is. We have the Nykthos. Play out Aeve Maya, I guess? Or maybe I was supposed to play Nykthos. I don't really know. Okay. These Wooded Foothills, they're at 17 life. I have to imagine they're playing like a Shardless agent here. They do. So they're going to have 10 power on board. 4 cards in hand. Okay. We draw another Karn. Our hand is just so clunky right now. So if I play Kiora, I can untap the Utopia Sprawl. And then I can't do anything else. Really awkward. So I guess we play Karn. And then we'll minus Karn. Yes. And I think I'm supposed to just go get Ensnaring Bridge. There it is. So we'll click on that. Pass the turn. So the thing about Ensnaring Bridge here is that I need to find a way to get my hand empty. And I need more mana to do that. So I think just being on the draw here puts me in a pretty tough spot. We're going to go to 10. Oh, they're going to kill Karn. So that bought me a turn. That's good. Violent Outburst. That did not buy me a turn. Yikes. So we need to find some way of making mana here. Okay. Overgrowth? Nope. I think we're just dead. So how do we want to do this? Play Kiora. We have 4 cards in hand. We can untap this. Tap this for mana. Play another Kiora. If they have a force, I'm just dead. So we'll keep the new Kiora, and then we'll untap the Utopia Sprawl land again. Now we tap this, play Ensnaring Bridge, and now I have 3 cards in hand. If our opponent has artifact removal, we are dead, but if not, we get to buy a little bit of time. And they have Force of Vigor, so we are in fact dead. So that's a bummer. And now we take lethal damage, and we're off to game number 3. Blown out of the water. Alright, let's resubmit and hope for a better hand, I guess. Game number 3 on the play. Yeah, this seems solid. Keep. So we can go turn 1 Arbor Elf, turn 2 Kiora into Oath of Nissa. Okay. Let's lead off with the Windswept Heath to go get a basic forest. We just want to thin our deck. For what it's worth, these really shouldn't be 4 Windswept Heath. They should be 4 split fetch lands. Just 4 Heath is a little bit dangerous for no reason. Like if your opponent just knows you're on 4 Heath and needles you, you can get punished. So you really should have like 1 Windswept Heath, 1 Wooded Foothills, Verdant Catacombs, etc. Breeding Pool is the land. Dispenser Crashing Footfalls. Another Oath of Nissa will play the forest. Untap. Waiting on the ability to resolve here. Tap it again, play Kiora. Kiora resolves, will untap the basic forest. And Oath of Nissa. Triggers. Not great, but I guess we'll take land number 3. Pass the turn. Wooded Foothills. We go grab a Stomping Ground down to 15 life. They fire my elf and deal 1 to Kiora. Not very kind. Take a draw. Burning Tree. Let's use Oath of Nissa. Doesn't really matter. Oath of Nissa. We find another elf. I think I'm supposed to keep the Burning Tree around. Is it Storm for Aeve? Maybe that's just wrong, though. I'm going to pass the turn. I could play the Burning Tree here. I think I want to save it. The Footfalls reduces Suspend. Fury. Okay. They pitch another Fury to it. So they can deal 1 elf, 3 to Kiora, and that's what they do. Kiora's down to 2. We find another Kiora. So I'm a mana short of Aeve now. We'll untap a forest, and I think we're just going to play a new Kiora. Basically, we just want a Kiora that is going to live longer. We'll keep the new one. Pass the turn. They're drawing and passing with 5 cards in hand. We take a draw. Overgrowth. Play it. We have to be wary of Force of Vigor. We know that our opponent boarded it in, and if I use Summoner's Pact and plan on paying with the Overgrowth mana, they could punish me. So Crashing Footfalls is going to come off suspend here. That does matter because they're representing killing our Kiora next turn. They are fetching immediately. Basic Island. And it looks like they're passing. Alright, we drew land 4. That was huge. Cast Summoner's Pact. They counter it. That's okay. We don't mind that. Play Burning Tree Emissary. The Emissary triggers. I guess I can actually leave that untapped. And now we'll play Aeve for Storm 4. We should draw a couple cards off the Kiora here. So Aeve. Now this one should draw a card. And then we should draw one off the next as well. Arbor Elf. Utopia Sprawl. Untap. Tap. Play the Arbor Elf. Play the Sprawl. Choose green. Pass the turn. Excuse me. Just hit puberty first time. Pretty excited. Alright. Opponent still has 4 cards in hand. They have plenty of gas here. Temple Garden, they're playing white. Well, I guess I did see... yeah, I saw the white already. They bounced the original Aeve. Okay. Maybe I'll draw a spell and get rewarded. I guess I just didn't piece together. I saw them get Indultha Triome and Aeve and then Teferi in the previous game, and just this game just out the door. Karn, the great piece of trash. Alright, so that was a decent draw. So we're gonna make 5 mana. We'll play Karn. We force the Karn. Untap the Overgrowth Forest. Tap this again. And now Storm 3, so we're going to get to draw 3 cards off this with the Kiora. Land, Sprawl, Aeve. Nice. Alright, so now we'll fetch. And the opponents already can see we were going to slime them again! Alright, so that was pretty sweet. I didn't mind that. We are 1-0. There's still 4 more rounds left, but I'm all about this Slime Time life, and at some point in this video, there will be an ad for a token pack. There's Slime Time tokens in that token pack. So if you want to play this deck, definitely buy a token pack. It'll make your life easy. They even have the power toughness already built in, so it goes all the way from 2 up to, I don't remember, 12 maybe. But you're able to get your Slime Time in, I promise. All right, match number 2 coming up. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Please forgive me. Apparently my storm count was cut off in that first game. It has since been corrected. Hopefully we won't have any more issues. They reveal a Gigantha the Wellspring. Alright, well this hand is sort of busted. This hand would be even better if the Cavalier of Thorns was in fact a Progenitor Ooze, but we're going to keep this. On the play, we're going to use our 1 Subteeth to go get basic Forest. Arbor Elf. We're playing the Arbor Elf first because it will make more mana on the following turn. We can just immediately Utopia Sprawl our Forest, and then we get more mana value that way. Alright, Dragon's Rage Channeler, sure thing. Aeve Progenitor Ooze. Not quite. So if we had another Forest here, it'd be ideal, but we don't. I guess it doesn't really matter if you untap the Forest first or not. So now we get 2 green. Play another Utopia Sprawl. Choose green again. Maybe I messed up. I think maybe I was supposed to play the Kiora there. Just Nykthos, Kiora, untap the Sprawl. Maybe that was the line. We'll play Oath of Nissa now. guess we take the Arbor Elf. Okay, and then we'll play the Nykthos. Pass the turn. Yeah, I feel like I botched that turn. I was probably supposed to play the Kiora. Yeah, I feel like I messed that up, unfortunately. So they play a Mishra's Bauble. They kept the card on top with Surveil. They look at our top card. They're getting in with the Channeler, so we're going to fall to 18 life. And they missed their land drop. They're drawing a card off Bauble. Oh, well, that's certainly a good one. Let's tap for 3. Let's play Kiora. Untap the Forest. Taps for 3. We'll play Arbor Elf. Tap this for mana. Make 6 mana. Play Cavalier of... Hold on. I think I need to do this first. Untap. So if I activate this now, that's exactly enough mana. Sweet. Cavalier of Thorns. And our opponents conceded the game. Wow. Alright. Maybe Aspiring Spike was onto something. So we're facing, I just don't think you're supposed to sideboard. That is the one nice thing about this deck, is there's no sideboard guide, but also I'm just never supposed to board by the looks of it. Resubmit. Game number 2. We have double Nykthos, nothing really to cast. I think we're supposed to mulligan. Here, this is a dangerous hand because we don't have land number 2 or even a way up to 3 for overgrowth, I'm sorry. I don't know if we're supposed to keep this or not. Get rid of the Eternal Witness. This hand's certainly dangerous. Turn 1 Mountain. Into Old Rags. Yep. Okay. Let's play the Arbor Elf. Be huge if I could draw land number 2. Misty Rainforest. Grab Stomping Ground. So they're not actually they're Teamer. Unholy Heat my elf dead. Sure. So they get to Surveil with the Channeler. They put a land to the graveyard. Regivan connects. We go to 18 and they get a treasure. Summoner's Pact. I will allow you to cast that. They decline. We find the land. They have 2 cards. I think I'm going to play out the Burning Tree as a blocker to hold back the Regivan. Play the Burning Tree Emissary. Triggers. And then we'll play Oath of Nissa. We'll take the Nykthos. Pass the turn. Putting up the 3 cards in hand now. Expressive Iteration using the treasure to make a blue. They Surveil away Steam Vent. So they're going to have instant land sorcery. They find Tarmogoyf, so that gives us some knowledge of what the green is for. Where's the Saga? Are you a Breach deck? This might just be Breach. They have 2 cards left in hand. And if it is Breach, I'm supposed to bring in Endurance for game 3. I think I'm supposed to block the Regivan. We'll take 1, but then their Channeler becomes Delirious. We draw a land, play the Nykthos. Overgrowth. Pass the turn. Saga moves up to 2. They have 7 power in play, so I need to do something meaningful next turn, is what that means. There's their blue source. Another Lurgoyf. Things are not looking good for the home team. Holy moly. They have no cards in hand and a lot of power. We're taking 7. We're going to go to 9. I think Aeve is really the only card that could get me out of this, and I would have to be able to chain these into it. Yours a good draw. Okay. How do I do this? This is tough. My brain isn't meant for this. So I can play the Overgrowth on Nykthos, but I don't have enough mana to do everything I want. I think, unfortunately, the block on Burning Tree might have been wrong, but then I want to draw on the Kiora anyway. So this is 3. So I could tap these 2, or these 3, play the Overgrowth here, which makes this mana tap for 5. I guess that's the out. Okay, so we're going to Overgrowth here. We have to get kind of lucky. We have to hit Aeve off the Oath of Nissa. Play Kiora. We will untap the forest. Play the Oath, and we have to hit Aeve off this. Triggers. We did not hit Aeve. Alright, we can go to game 3. Am I supposed to bring in... I don't actually know if they're a breach deck. Triple Tarmogoyf. I'm just gonna resubmit. Who needs the sideboard? Game number 3, and we are on the play. This hand's slow, but I'm going to keep it. Play the Oath of Nissa. Trigger. Guess we're taking Eternal Witness. Pass the turn. They play Scalding Tarn, they immediately activate it. Steam Vents. Old Ragavan. Disappointing. Arbor Elf, a little bit of an awkward draw, but we'll take it. If they attack, I believe I'm supposed to block. They use Misty immediately. They're down to 14. Ren. So Ren is going to kill my elf here. And then the Ragavan will connect. You go to 18 and they get a treasure. And my Arbor Elf, when they have a stomping ground. Brutal! That's just disgusting. Another Kiora. Might as well play it. Pass the turn. Not looking very good for the home team. Engineered explosives for 3. So they're going to be able to kill my Kiora here. Ragavan gets in. They hit Oath of Nissa. Even if I draw Nykthos, I can't do anything meaningful on my turn. It's very awkward. And then they use the Engineered Explosives. Okay. Summoner's Pact. Doesn't really help me here. We'll just play another Kiora. Pass the turn. They play a Ledger Shredder. This is looking more and more like Breach by the second. Expressive Iteration. They grab Needle, or they reveal Needle off of Expressive. They deal me a damage with the Ren and 6. Okay. Mishra's Bauble. Are they just not interested in playing Needle? Or do you have a land drop post-combat in your hand? Oh, it's the treasure off Ragavan. Obviously. Alright, and now they're going to play the Needle, naming Kiora. Yep. That's exactly what happened. Draw for turn. They'll bobble me in response, sure. Alright, so we draw a land. Tap this for a green. Play Eternal Witness, get back the Arbor Elf. Alright, so that resolves. Now we're going to grab Arbor Elf. This will trigger the Ledger Shredder. Okay. Pass the turn. Fisher's Bauble triggers. They kill my Eternal Witness. They Ren and 6'd my Elf. Yikes. They're at 9 now. Down to 7. We have no real direct damage, so they're allowed to go fairly low. A 6/7 Tarmogoyf. That's pretty large. Mystical Dispute. Okay, so we're taking 6 here down to 6 life. Karn. So they surveilled away a Mystical Dispute, which tells me that the last card in their hand is probably Interaction. It just doesn't matter. We're dead. I can play the Garruk and untap lands. That doesn't do anything. I can make a blocker. That doesn't do anything. They got me. So we are now 1-2. I'm sorry, 1-1. There's still 3 more rounds of Magic left to be played. This video just feels like it's taking forever. We're 1-1. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and Mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Match number 3, we're on the draw. Let's keep. We have turn 1 Arbor Elf and turn 2 Overgrowth. Should be a good time. Steam Vents. Into Channeler. Kiora's a fine draw. We really need this Arbor Elf to live. Pass the turn. Are we facing the same deck twice? No blocks. Lightning bolt being pointed at my elf. Unfortunate. Into Ragavan. Yep. Sprawl was decent. Play that here. Choose green. Both of Nissa. Triggers. Yes, we take forest. Pass. I just feel like I'm on the back foot here, unfortunately. If we were on the play this game, I feel like this would be a very different game. They hit a Nykthos. Jeez. They have 2 in hand. Play the forest. Play an overgrowth. 2 mana. For a mana leak. Sure. Okay, we have to pass. They pick up a Triome. Now they're attacking for 3. We're going to fall to 12. They get their Ragavan trigger. Burning Tree Emissary. They choose not to play the Burning Tree. That's pretty interesting. Okay, so Eternal Witness the draw here. Play Cradle. Play Witness. Ooh. My bad. I thought, for some reason in my head, we had an Overgrowth in play already. Let's try... Undo. Try Overgrowth here. Okay, so that happened. Eternal Witness, and we'll get back the Arbor Elf. Snapcaster and a Mana Leak. Okay. This deck definitely feels a little bit like a throwback. Snapcaster and Mana Leak are not cards you see too often these days. I have been Mana Leaked. I am unable to pay. Expressive Iteration. They play the Scalding Tarn from exile. They still have 2 in hand. Getting in for 7. I'm going to go to 5 here. And our current hand doesn't really do anything meaningful. We're dead to a Lightning Bolt plus this Channeler. Or Channeler plus Snapcaster and a Lightning Bolt. They hit our Summoner's Pact. That would have been a good draw because that represents Aeve Progenitor Ooze. Instead, we get nothing. They cast the Summoner's Pact. Surveil away Basic Island. They grab Tarmogoyf. This looks a lot like the deck we faced previously. We haven't seen Urza Saga yet, but this version seems to have Snapcaster Mana Leak. Looks like a second Tarmogoyf here. They Besage you. Okay. That was mean. Draw for turn. Another Yavimaya. We are dead. We're just getting bullied. That's what this feels like. There's no sideboarding with this deck, just resubmit. Game number 2, we're on the play. Yeah, this seems great. Keep. The opponent is on 5 cards. We will lead on Arbor Elf. Pass the turn. Wooded Foothills. Very Stomping Ground. Red mana. Goodbye, Arbor Elf. Kiora. Utopia Sprawl. We will pick green. Both of Nissa. Triggers. Take the Arbor Elf. Play it and pass the turn. They fetch. Brennan 6. Yep. Goodbye, Elf. Not a lot of nice things. Okay. Eternal Witness. Doesn't do me a whole lot of good right now. We'll play Kiora. Pass the turn after that. Opponent's pretty close to Delirium. They have Artifact, Land, Instant. They need Sorcery or Creature. They play Scalding Tarn into a Dash Ragavan. Ragavan connects. Burning Tree, and they pass. Another Arbor Elf. Untap the Utopia Sprawl. Eternal Witness. Return Arbor Elf. Yes, I'd like to return it. And then we'll play a pair. Pass the turn. The opponent just concedes. Okay. Strange, but I'll allow it. And now we're going to game number 3. They're on the play, and we've opened up a pretty darn good hand. I am definitely down for keeping this. Our best draw is probably like a Utopia Sprawl. They mulligan to 5 and skip their first turn. Alright, play an elf. We pass back, and our opponent's conceded the game. Sorry, that's how it goes sometimes. We're 2-1. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Round 4, we're on the draw. We have turn 1 Utopia Sprawl, we have a Summoner's Pact. I think that we have a lot going on with that I like about this hand. The Summoner's Pact is most likely going to try to get Burning Tree Emissary for extra devotion. Decent draw, decent draw. Go grab a forest. Play the Utopia Sprawl. We'll say green. Pass the turn. This deck is certainly fun. Island. Okay. Ice, ice, baby. Yep. Land go. Fiery Islet. You draw a Burning Tree. Am I allowed to play Kiora? Kiora resolves. We will untap. I want a Summoner's Pact, but I'm sort of afraid. I'm going to do it. Go grab a Burning Tree. Play the Burning Tree. Triggers. Play another Burning Tree. This will trigger as well. Now we play Nykthos. Activate Nykthos for green. 6 mana into Aeve Progenitor Ooze. It's slime time. That turned out well. I forgot we get to draw off this. So good. Play the Sprawl. Yeah. You can have a couple Rhinos. You think I'm going to be impressed with some Rhinos? Come on. Come on. I have a 6/6 slime over here. You think a 4/4 is gonna keep up? I remember my first time playing Magic. I'm joking. I'm joking. They have 5 in hand. Alright, so I'm supposed to pay 4 mana here. We should probably do that. Alright, so we've paid the lose the game trigger. Arbor Elf. Untap the land that can activate Utopia Sprawl, or activate the Nykthos. Alright, we have 23 mana. Karn the Great Creator. And the opponent concedes. I'm so glad that I didn't have to execute the infinite mana, like win. At least so far tonight. That's been really nice, because I was sort of dreading it before recording this video. And not having to click a whole bunch is certainly a good thing. Game 2, we've opened up kind of a clunker. I think we're going to ship this. A much better hand. Keep, and we'll get rid of the Eternal Witness. Flooded Strand. Burning Tree's a good one. Arbor Elf. Pass the turn. They pick up a Xander's Lounge. A little bit of fire. Womp womp. You draw Nykthos, that's good. Play the Forest. Play Oath of Nissa. I guess we grab Karn. Is a land better than Karn? It might be. Guess I'll take the Karn. I don't actually know. Pass the turn. Gemstone Caverns and they just pass back. Play the Nykthos. Play the Overgrowth. And that just immediately resolved. Okay. 3 mana here for a Violent Outburst. So now they'll have 10 power on the board. This is telling me that I need to get moving next turn. Land number 4. And they have 4 cards remaining in hand. I'm at 11. Garruk. Burning Tree Emissary. Triggers. Play an Arbor Elf. Make some green mana. We have 5 green. Garruk Wildspeaker. Does this resolve? It does. Yes. Untap the Overgrowth land in Nykthos. Tap, tap. Make some more mana. 9 mana. We'll play Karn the Great Creator. And then let's minus Karn. We want to get something that costs 1 here. Grab a Chalice of the Void, because this will stop another Crashing Footfalls. Play the Chalice. And now they're going to Violent Outburst, so they just increase my storm count. Sure. So now Chalice happens, and now Aeve Progenitor Ooze. That worked out very well. So now they have 4 4/4s versus my army of slime. And we win. We win. We got there. We're 3-1. Let's finish strong with a 4-1. I'd like that. All right, 5th and final round coming up. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? We've made it simple to do so by including a button to rent the entire deck at theepicstorm.com/decklist. The 5th and final round with Mono Green Devotion Storm by Aspiring Spike. Oh wow, if this was a forest, this hand would have been insane. We have to mulligan. I mean, this hand's really good too. Going to bottom the Windswept Heath. You could like bottom the Summoner's Pact, but I think between your draw steps and Oath of Nissa, you should expect to hit mana. Okay. Forest into Oath of Nissa. All right, let's auto yield to this. I want to take the Burning Tree, but I think I'm supposed to take the land. No, I'm going to take the Burning Tree. We have 2 draw steps to hit land 3. Silent Clearing. Is this Hammertime? It looks like Hammertime. Take a draw, and we did hit the forest. I think I'm supposed to play it now. Like, it doesn't actually make a difference if I play it now or next turn. Play it now as a potential blocker, save a damage. And then we have to pass the turn. Okay, pass. Inkmoth Nexus. Sigarda's Aid. That's pretty scary. So if I block, they can put a hammer on it. But if I block, that means they're not putting a hammer on a Nexus next turn. You know what? I think I'm okay if they put a hammer on the Sentinel here. Because I can block this. Alright, so they're going to draw a card. That's fine. We will not pay. I think it's better for them to put it on a creature I can actually block, unlike the Inkmoth. We'll grab a Burning Tree. Play the Burning Tree. This brings us up to 5 Devotion. Okay. Now we play the Nykthos. Let's make some green. Now we play Kiora. Okay. And now we untap the Nykthos. Tap it again. Now we make 6 mana. We play the Garruk. Untap. Untap. Tap the Nykthos again. Now we get 8 mana. We play Aeve Progenitor Ooze for Storm 5, which represents lethal. And we will get to draw some cards here too. So we're going to draw 3 cards. A land. Utopia Sprawl. And another land. So that was a little bit unfortunate. Play the Utopia Sprawl here. We can get in for 2 damage. Hiya. And all of this was possible because I made the decision not to block. We're dead to land hammer. We have 5 in hand. 3 more hammers left in the deck. They play a Pure Steel Paladin. Springleaf Drum. I think we've got it. So how I lose this is if they have a... What is it called? Why can't I think of it? Shadow Spear. So if they have Shadow Spear, I'm dead here. So if I throw a 3/3 in front, that's not enough. I could throw a pair of 2/2s, because the Shadow Spear would make it a 12/12, and then I would go to 1, and then I'd swing. They'd block this and then take 15, which is exactly lethal. So they block 12, 14. Hold on. They block here 10, 13, 15. Why am I counting wrong? This is only 14. Okay, it's 14. So this is 9, 12, 14. So I'm 1 short if I block this way. I am dead to a Shadow Spear. It's a 1-of. Am I really trying to play around a 1-of here? Alright. If you have Shadow Spear, you got me. Ah, damn. Oh, the crackback. Okay, so here's a thing I wasn't thinking about. I wasn't considering the lifelink on Shadow Spear. Am I not dead? I don't understand how I'm alive right now. Oh, they attacked Garruk. Oh. That's how I'm alive. So let's make 20 mana and we'll pay for Summoner's Pact. I didn't realize that they attacked Garruk. I just assumed they attacked me. So they're at 27. We drew another land. Ugh. Gross. What to do? I don't think I can actually beat this 12/12 lifelinker. Let's swing out. So they're going to take a bunch of damage. And then I can untap a blocker with Kiora. So I need to untap the 6/6. Pass the turn. Because this is going to trample over for 6 and Pure Steel Paladin is 2. So that's 8 damage and I would go to 1. They draw a blocker. Okay. They animate Ink Moth. Not a whole lot I can do about that. Ooh. Okay, so I'll block here. I'm going to take 6 poison. And they're going to go up to 17. Okay. They re-equip the Shadow Spear to Pure Steel Paladin. And then the Esper Sentinel. So they didn't like their first choice, I guess. And then they move the Shadow Spear over to the Sentinel as well. They take a point down to 16. Another Pure Steel Paladin. And our upkeep will fetch to thin. We're really trying to hit something that is a payoff here. I know their deck is mostly mana, but this is a turn where we need to draw something that's live. That doesn't do anything. Oh, geez. Play the Windswept Teeth, and we're just going to pass the turn. Hallowed Fountain untapped. They have 2 cards in hand. They're at 14 life. They equip the Hammer to Ornithopter. And then the Shadow Spear, so it's an 11-13. Now they're just moving things around because they can. Now they're putting Shadow Spear on the Pure Steel Paladin. Alright, so they're getting in. We need to block. So 2, I'm at 8. So if we block with a 4, we would soak up 6 and take 7 going to 1. So I think I'm supposed to block with a 5 so that way I can fetch. That blocks soaks up 7, so I'd take 6. And then I could fetch down to 1. Okay. And I am definitely dead to Nettle Cyst. Okay. I guess I would have fetched first, so this draw doesn't... I wouldn't have drawn this. I would have fetched. Alright, so that was a brutal one. Once again, sideboarding is for losers. Let's just resubmit. Game 2 on the play versus Hammer. Triple Summoner's Pact, huh? Don't think we're going to keep this one. No lands. Classic. Classic. We're going to 5. These are some awkward draws. So we're keeping this because we're kind of priced into it. But this is not really where we want to be. Play the Forest and pass. Seachrome Coast into Esper Sentinel. We'll play the Oath of Nissa and pay for the Esper Sentinel. Triggers. Take the Nykthos. Pass. Urza's Saga. Springleaf Drum. Stoneforge Mystic. You've got it. Colossus Hammer to hand. Another copy of Overgrowth. We'll play it. They'll get to draw a card here. Pass the turn. Pure Steel. We know that they have a hammer. And they do have Metalcraft because Esper Sentinel is in fact an artifact. They can equip. Giver of Ruin. So they can also give their creature pro-green next turn. And they have another hammer coming into play. I believe we're just dead. It doesn't matter. Ooh. That's interesting. Okay, what can I do here? This taps for 3, so then I can play Overgrowth on this. We'll draw a card. Okay, let's Summoner's Pact. We can grab Burning Tree Emissary. Tap. Play the Emissary. Triggers. Make some mana. Ooh, I'm 1 mana short of the play I wanted. I wanted to Karn into Ensnaring Bridge. That's a bummer. I don't think there's a 2 mana card that saves me here. Alright, so we'll play Karn, I guess. Minus, we'll get the might. Play it. And blow up the hammer. Pass the turn. Saga goes to 3. They don't activate the Saga. They do go get a Colossus Hammer. They play another copy of Urza's Saga. I think we're just dead and it doesn't really matter. Because they can attack the Karn. I block, and then whatever I block, they then give it pro green. So they did that preemptively, which is a little bit odd, but let's see the rationale. They play a Sigarda's Aid. They still have 3 in hand. They're swinging all out at the Karn. I can't block the Pure Steel. So I guess we'll block with the Burning Tree. My Karn's going to die, and I have to pay for a Summoner's Pact trigger. They're tapping a mana here. Reality Chip? Sure. Our opponent's playing a little bit of an odd list. You don't usually see the Reality Chip in Nettlesys. Like, Reality Chip was popular for a hot second. But you usually don't see this many different equipment. Okay. Now they can re-equip the Colossus Hammer, and they do that. They move the Reality Chip, sure. I have to pay for a Summoner's Pact trigger. Might as well just use the Nykthos here. At least this way, I have mana going into my turn. We draw an Arbor Elf. We're just dead. So they can give their creature pro green using the Giver and then swing for 11. Okay, so we went 3 and 2. I mean, that's not awful. If you told me this, like, my first time playing this deck, that honestly, no offense to Aspiring Spike, it looks a little bit janky. If you told me on 0 reps ever and playing a sort of janky deck that I would go 3-2, I'd be thrilled. So let's open up our pity chest here, see if we get anything good. I don't know what these are. Doesn't look too good to me. Alright, so my honest thoughts. This deck was better than I expected. I think the wish board might be a little bit too big. There's some cute cards in here like the Chain Veil and Leveler and everything else. I think you could probably look at like more copies of Endurance in the sideboard, possibly some Force of Vigors, and you'd have like a pretty competitive deck. This was a lot of fun to play. Thank you, Delante, once again for the donation deck. I can talk. And shoutouts to Aspiring Spike for building a pretty sweet brew. Everyone, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Have a great day and keep storming. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.